Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Brothers and sisters in Islam, before we begin our khatira tonight, just two very important announcements. Number one, as we all know, tomorrow night is the first Friday of the month, and we know that that is our family night. But unfortunately, due to the weather that is forecasted for tomorrow, which is going to be continuous rain and also cold weather, we have decided to postpone this family event to next Friday, inshallah. So my humble request to everyone is to make sure that they stay safe and warm. And when we come for Salatul Jum'ah, a humble request. If we are walking from outside, we have our umbrellas. Make sure we close our umbrellas outside by the front patio before we enter. Make sure we keep ourselves dry and cooperate with each other when it comes to parking, inshallah. Sometimes the line on the road extends, and the officer has already told us that there is no more space for parking. So we heed that officer's advice, and we could move to the other alternative parking facilities, which is next door and across the street. So inshallah, our family night is postponed till next Friday, inshallah. Jazakumullah khairan. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah wa kafa wa salatu wa salamu ala Rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa mawala. Brothers and sisters in Islam, alhamdulillah, we are now completing one part or one portion of our 24-hour cycle. If you recall, last week we spoke about preparation for sleep. Brothers and sisters in Islam, we should say subhanallah. Say subhanallah. Alhamdulillah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us a deen that teaches us things that are beneficial for us. In the UK, where I studied, where people smoke a lot, it's a common thing. People will tell you they wake up in the morning, one eye is open, one eye is still closed. They look for their cigarette, their lighter, and they start their day. They go to bed, they're so exhausted they can't change their clothes, they can't prepare themselves, they just fall into the bed and go to sleep with their shoes on. Our deen, Islam, has taught us some amazing teachings that if we were to, inshallah, incorporate them in our life, it will only make the quality of our life better, inshallah. So in regards to retiring for the night, first and foremost, we learn from the hadith of Abu Hurairah radiallahu ta'ala. He reports that the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, when any of you go to bed, you should dust your bed with the inner portion of your cloth. For example, you take a piece of cloth or a shirt and just dust the bed, for you do not know what came in it after you. Subhanallah. And a person could say, well, we're not living back in those days, we're not living outdoor, we're not camping, so why do I need to do that? If we were to do it only because it's the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we are gaining reward. So we take the sheet off, the blanket, and just dust the bed 3 times, inshallah. Then we lie down on the bed by placing our right hand below our right cheek facing towards the right. So the sunnah method of sleeping, wherein it's also proven that it's the best method of sleeping because the heart is somewhat hanging. It's not pressure on the heart. We do not sleep on our stomach. Our sunnah is to sleep in this way. Why? So our body could be at ease and we could, inshallah, have a comfortable sleep. In accordance to that, Hudayfa radiallahu ta'ala reports that whenever the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam went to bed at night, he would place his hand beneath his cheek, and he would say, Allahumma, everyone, Allahumma, Bismika, Amutu, wa Ahya. O Allah, I die and live with your name. Subhanallah. I just want to pause here. Brothers and sisters in Islam, at a moment that you are sick, you're very sick, you're vomiting, you cannot eat, you get to a point where if you see food or smell food, you get nauseated. I'm sure we all have been there once in our life at least. And you wish that I have some ability to eat again. At that time, we recall the blessing of food. Yes or no? And when we were students, and when we used to eat food, if we were to even waste the crust of a pizza, we would say when we're hungry, I wish I never wasted that. Because there are times in our life when we realize the blessing, and we wish that we appreciated it. death, sleep is the sister of death. Every night we die. Every night we die not knowing that we're going to die and not knowing if we're going to wake up. Yes or no? And if anyone here could put their hand up and tell me that they lie down in bed and then they press the button and they turn off. No. You lie down, you might be talking, and then you're gone. I went under anesthesia just a few months ago, and my doctor, he's like the uncle to me, so we're talking, and they were injecting it. I said, Uncle, you know, and I was gone. I wanted to say something. I was thinking I could fight this thing, but subhanAllah, you're gone. That's how death will come. None of us, doesn't matter how smart we are, how intellectual we are, we cannot cheat death. We cannot run from it. We cannot slip away. It's going to come, and we will not expect it. So every night, Allah is reminding us, you're going to die. And so just as it came abruptly, you were sitting on the sofa and you fell asleep, you wake up, it's 1:15 in the morning, what just happened here? That's how death will come. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala teaches us, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam teaches us through this dua that you remind yourself, with your name, O Allah, I die and I will come back to life. Another hadith is a beautiful dua. اللهم أسلمت نفسي إليك ووجهت وجهي إليك وفوضت أمري إليك وألجأت ظهري إليك رغبة ورهبة إليك لا ملجأ ولا منجا منك إلا إليك آمنت بكتابك الذي أنزلت وبنبيك الذي أرسلت. Subhanallah, in this dua, in regards to this dua, Bara ibn Azib radiallahu anhu reports that the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam told me, when you go to bed, perform wudu like you perform wudu for salah. After that, lie on your right side and say the following dua, which I just said. Understand the translation. O Allah, I have surrendered myself to you. I have entrusted my affair to you. I have turned myself to you out of hope in you and fear of you. There is no place of refuge and salvation from you except with you. O Allah, I believe in your book which you revealed and in your Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam who you have sent. Now listen to this. If you were to read this dua, if you were to pass away during the night, you shall pass away with fitra, i.e. the natural disposition with Islam. So he said to Bara ibn Azib, make these the last words you recite before you go to sleep. Allahumma aslamtu nafsi ilayk wa wajjahtu wajhi ilayk. Beautiful dua, inshallah. We'll try to send it to everyone, inshallah. Now upon, there's also many other du'as. Allahumma qini azabaka yawma tajma'u ibadak. O Allah, protect me from your punishment the day that your servants gather. The beauty in our deen, brothers and sisters, is our intention. What is it, everyone? Intention. How many of us here are not hafiz of Quran? Put your hands up. Make intention right now. Oh Allah, I want to become hafiz of Quran. Make the intention, inshallah. Make it in your heart. You know why? Because if you were to die and you didn't do it, because of your intention, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala could give it to you. Have the intention. Intentions are so beautiful in our deen because that paves the path for where you intend to go. So before we go to sleep, if we're not accustomed to waking up for tahajjud, Allah, I make intention to wake up for tahajjud. And if you don't wake up, your intention was there, Allah will give you the reward of waking for tahajjud. And then inshallah, Allah will make it easy for you to wake up for tahajjud. So make the intention before you go to sleep. Abu Darda radiallahu anhu reports that the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, whoever goes to bed with the intention to wake up to pray during the night, i.e. salatul tahajjud, and their sleep overwhelms them until they wake up in the morning, then whatever they intended will be documented in their record of deeds, and that sleep will be donation from their Lord, the Great and the Almighty. Subhanallah. Now, we might sometimes have nightmares. And maybe another time we could talk about dreams. Dreams is 1/40 of nubuwah. Dreams mean something. We could look into the ahadith in regards to dreams. It's very important. If you were to wake up with a nightmare, you recite, A'udhu billahi, everyone, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. That imitates the action of spitting on your left side. Now, if your wife or husband is on the left side, don't let them catch you spitting on them. Subhanallah, imitation doesn't mean you're going to go, you're not going to do that. Just like that. Just make intention, because shaitan is trying to influence and try to bring these bad thoughts, so just make that action. You don't literally do it. Please don't do that, inshallah. If you wake up during the night to go to the bathroom, wash your hands and face before going back to sleep. This is also from the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, in which Ibn Abbas radiallahu ta'ala reported that the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam got up during the night, he went to the bathroom, he relieved himself, he washed his face and his hands, and then he went back to sleep. With this, brothers and sisters, we conclude the night. Alhamdulillah, we came to the masjid, we learned the etiquettes of the masjid, we prayed, we departed, we went home, we talked about the etiquettes of home, we talked about the etiquettes of sleep, we talked about the etiquettes of eating, preparation for sleep, and tonight, alhamdulillah, we've completed the sleep itself. Insha'Allah, from next Thursday, we will continue from the time we wake up. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He makes us amongst those servants of His that truly understand the blessing of the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and that we incorporate them into our life. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us all the ability to understand this and the ability to practice upon this. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. Jazakumullahu khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.